Welcome back. I just hit play. Okay. Or whatever. Record. Whew. I'm gonna hit play. We got 44 minutes of music I made. I did a little level checking, three times recording, test, seeing what was up. See, hopefully it's good. So, pardon me if the audio level is good, but the music is questionable. That might be the case. Okay, so it's been like a month and a half, and I really didn't intend to record. I've just been doing stuff. So I thought real quick before I start talking about subject matter that I kind of catch up on some things. It's been a month and a half. So one thing that happened in that time was I won a poker tournament for like $3,600. Cashed it out, got some money. I mean, that's a lot of money for my living with my parents' self. So jobless and so on. So I was like, whoa, dude, I got some cash. So thanks Global Poker, they do, I shouldn't talk about it. First rule of Fight Club. That's how I want it. Free. I didn't risk anything. I risked 11 cents. I won a ticket to a $200 tournament buy-in, and then that tournament I actually placed it was so cool. They had a mystery bounty. They had mystery bounty. So one person, sorry, pardon me as I talk about poker for a second. Once it was $100,000 guaranteed. $200 buy-in. It was like a event thing, so it was pretty. Usually every Sunday they do $75,000 guaranteed, and then first place gets like 15 grand. But then they weekly offer 50 tickets to this by some other satellite tournament to get in that is basically free for all intents and purposes. As long as you have gold coins, which is like their free coin currency, although it is kind of hard to get that many gold coins if you don't have them. I just happen to have enough. Now I'm kind of running out. Besides the point, you gotta buy them at that point, and then they're pretty much making them have value because they're just like, this tournament's pretty nice here. But anyway, it was a mystery bounty, so once you reach the payout, everyone who's left has a bounty on their head. If they get knocked out, they're worth a certain amount, and it's this whole spectrum. And because it was a $200 buy-in tournament, first top knockout was like 9 grand or more, just for literally knocking someone out of the tournament. It happened the first hand on my table. I was like, oh shit, there it is. I missed it. It wasn't me. I wish it was. Just immediately make 9 grand. Like, whoa. Whoever got that was probably like, whoa. But I ended up getting like 5th in the tournament, and then also something like $1,000 in knockouts. So I got some pretty good knockouts. But like, there were like 6,000, 4,000, 3,000, 2,000. Lots of really good knockouts in that tournament. That if I got any of those, would have been sweet. But alas, that led to me getting some shallograms. Like this one we're looking at now that I looked at it. My eyes, like, let me look at it for a second. Dudes, this has just been on the screen the whole time I've been recording. What is happening? Like, look at the subtleties across. So it's got a wider top, a narrower bottom with little, like, things across, like right in the middle, right there-ish, right there-ish, in the middle of the hand, like at the tip of the fingernail. Tip of the finger around there, and then there's one. Not like the typical ammonite outcome. Like, what in the fuck is this? Like, these happen all the time. I don't have any that have anything like this. This isn't what really drew my attention to the shallogram, because I've seen these things before. They're very interesting, and I know they're like, there's a relationship. Like, for instance, this chakra isn't coincidentally at this boundary. That's not an accident. There's an energetic relationship in the current flows, and like the tendency for them to be parallel with one another across this way, because their current flows interacting basically at different energy levels, but doing the same thing. But I got this one. Oh my god, so there's those things we're just looking at right here. Here, same thing. So same exact ones, just shifting over. So notice over here, nothing out of the ordinary. Here, we can look at it directly. It looks a little odd, like it looks like an indentation, kind of like this. Maybe some oddities going on, but it's really not apparent. This image is really only apparent this area of the shallogram. Also, kudos, Rudraksh Guru. You guys take awesome photos. Now that I tried to take some photos, which we'll get to. Yeah. This one looks tiny. Like, it really looks tiny. Like, it's probably about like the size of a knuckle across, like, diameter. Very not substantial in terms of its size, which, like, based on his finger. I'm just basing it on the finger because they don't put the dimensions on them, generally speaking. Sometimes they'll put like a roller next to them, but they won't say how big they are typically. So I gotta gauge based on hands. Anyway, there's another chakra there. So I'm very curious to see this because I got it. I also got another one from them. This is what happens when I win poker. I buy rocks, literally, and a camera. This one, it's hard to... We'll see it soon. But I got that one from them. Then through their website, so I was like, oh shit, I can buy through their website. I tried before, but I couldn't buy through their website before. Okay. Let's keep going real quick. Well, this is where I was like, what the fuck is this? I looked at this for an instant. I went back. I legitimately went like this. I looked at this feature. I went back and I said, is this in stock? Because usually they post them already, like typically something like this, out of stock. If I go like this, which is awesome. Thanks again, Rudraksh, because they keep their sold ones, like it's sold, but there it is to look at, which is awesome. And they've got lots of new ones that I haven't talked about yet. They haven't been. This one's pretty interesting. They haven't been that interesting. Some have, but I like these ones are. They have features that are of interest, like this one especially. Anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked. It's still there, but it said new. It just said new. So I was like, how much money do I still have left? How much after I've burned through that? I burned through so much of that. I was on eBay, so I was on eBay. Like, and I spent like a week and a half, maybe. Initially, I'm like, okay. I would like to do photogrammetry. Do 3D rendering imagery of shallograms. I think that makes sense. That seems like a good idea. Also, Chris Dunn was on Joe Rogan like 2 days ago, and he mentioned the spiral of this drilled out core that they were talking about, and how consensus in science is that it's not a spiral, but it's just like ridges going down this core. But he's like, it's a spiral. I took a string and I went around, and it's continuously a spiral, like a screw. It's not a screw, but like a screw, in terms of a continuous spiral. So, like, what the fuck is basically what he's saying. Scientists are like, nah. So, not all songs are equal in this recording in terms of the actual, like, whatever's going on. What are we at here with 29? Never mind it all sounds the same. Okay. Just different settings on a keyboard. And maybe slightly differently played, but it's hard to not play the same notes when that's just what an instrument is. I realize sometimes I'm like, I play the same thing. I'm like, it's the same fucking notes because that's what an instrument is, dude. But other times I'm like, alright, I play the same shit. That's fair. Okay. But I looked at this. I bought it immediately. I was like, I got enough. It was cheap enough. It was like $90, admittedly, plus a little bit more for other things, making it like $100 and some. Oh my god. Which is kind of expensive. I don't want to spend $100 on a shalogram, realistically. But what the fuck? Like, dude, seriously. Look at not just the features here. Whatever's going on here is crazy enough. Like, we can even see it goes, like, another one is going out that way. Whatever's going on these ways, like these flower petal things, is also, like, it was over here in its terms of the structure. I did it, so I took this image. So here's the image. I went like this, so like images. You know, like, what's it gonna show? Oh yeah, it's not copied anymore, probably. Okay. Copy. Paste. Like, what in the fuck? I guess. Maybe the closest of anything that's even look like it is a starfish. Let's look at a starfish. Really doesn't have those. I guess it does on this one. I wonder how similar it is to that. Because I don't interpret it to be any of this to be fossils. It's actually current induced by current flows of water during the global flood that caused the Earth to expand. Long story. that due to the usage of weaponry in an advanced ancient civilization that used Brahmastras as written about in the Hindu scriptures or whatever, Vedas. I don't know if scripture is the right term. I know I've recently came across the concept. Hinduism isn't really a religion. It's more of like a way of being or something of that nature. It was what was being said. I thought that was interesting. Okay, but the point is, notice around it, not just this, around it, there are like 1, 2, 3. I mean, how do I guess the best way to do this is to just save it real quick. Test. Let's just say test. Oh man. I realized I don't even know how to find my file. It took me a second. I had to think about it. Like, where are my Shallograms images? Like, where is this music I recorded? I had to find it. It's like, what? There it is. Okay, by doing this, now we can do what I wanted to do. We can just zoom in more. So maybe it gets a little too pixelated. But it's also over here, like there. So it's kind of surrounding it in an odd way that even branches out here. Like, whoa. I cannot wait to see this. What an incredible Shallogram. So it's got those really strange... I hope they survive shipping. I'm a little concerned about these. Speaking of... I don't know. It's not even a problem, really. Although I feel bad for the Shallogram. I have a broken Shallogram we'll get to. This is so cool in here. It looks kind of like a lobe. This looks kind of like a lobe, so like chakra, lobe. And then like a lobe, chakra, lobe. But also, this kind of resembles this in terms of maybe it's a similar thing. I feel like there's these little pillar things, they tend to have, like these, like that's, what the fuck? They tend to happen in the smaller ones, which would suggest like particle size matters. Like the flow in these rocks is able to form the structure of an ammonite with this particle size in under the conditions it was under, but when the same particle size is making up these ones, maybe it tends to produce this type of structure. I've never seen it like large scale, except for like the weirdest one I can recall. Let's see. It's probably in my disprove science folder for ease of finding it right now. There it is. Like, what the fuck? This one. Big ol' like ammonite thing in there. Oh my god, this one's so crazy. This is probably Mangulum jewelry. That's where I got that one. Almost certainly. I don't have it, but that image. But it's very pillar-like in a way I've never seen elsewhere on this scale. So I think it tends to not do this, but have the capacity to on the larger scale. Whereas on the smaller scale, it just tends to do this more frequently. I've definitely seen small ammonite structures that are more like actual ammonite structures on a smaller scale, like they tend to be large like this, but let's look for like, or on a small one to have some weird, like, not the same kind of thing going on. It's just weird in a lot of ways. Whereas the large ones are a lot more like this. And then again, that's that same one, this one, also has this feature and this feature. So it's just weird. It's not like it's fake or anything. It's like this, they're legit. These, like, all it takes is looking at the stones to see they're legit. It is not a question that the stones are authentic. At least most of them. Like, no one's manufacturing these. Maybe some of them are augmented by, like, some kind of added feature, but like that I've never really seen on a large scale either. Like for instance, someone might suggest this gap was open purposely. I would say otherwise. For instance, just generally speaking, like they're not modified. This is how they're found. And I'm trying to find this one with a tiny ammonite. It's small enough where it's like, okay, they happen that scale. Like for instance, that's probably similar size. I can't tell. It's hard. There we go. So it's not maybe an inch and a half, a long inch maybe. So this is probably pushing the scale of the other ones. Like the biggest ones, like these ones. It's probably pushing that scale. So I don't think it's that it can't form ammonites. There's some reason the circumstances in the smaller ones tend to do this. I don't know what to make of it. Anyway. How are we doing on this? So, before I get too distracted, so I ended up getting a macro lens off of eBay for $100. That's usually $200, so I got a $200 lens for $100. I mean, it seems nice. It's certainly not like the best lens. And I got a normal lens, a kit lens. I got a Sony A6000 from off eBay, also used. It seems really nice condition as well. I'm pretty satisfied. And then I got this light. That has the flash into, so I can take pictures like into crevices is the objective. And then I got a rotating table that can rotate 0.1 degrees at a time. Bunch of new like 4 new shower ramps. Some extension things as well as this tripod, but there's some extension tubes here. So I learned about some of this stuff. I'm very much new to this topic, but I learned enough where I was like, I feel like this purchase is at least in the direction of what I want to do. And the lens is obviously cheap enough that it's like, whatever, it's a cheap macro lens to try out. I might need to get a lens that is like to really, my objective was to get like the photos, baby. And initially I got the camera, I tried to take pictures with the macro lens only in my hand. I'm like, I cannot do this. Then I tried like without it moving. Like, cannot. because it's manual. It doesn't have, the camera doesn't have stability or whatever, and so it's like beneficial for it to being in the lens and all this stuff. So it's best on a tripod. So I ended up like, okay, I need to really use a tripod and figure out how to take pictures remotely. So we're gonna go through some pictures, kind of through the shallograms that I have that I took pictures of. So, and some other stuff. So here we go on our little journey. We finally made it to what I was like, yeah, I should probably just talk about that stuff. Okay, so as you can see, it's a little blurry, so let's just move on. A little blurry. There's lots of pictures. A little blurry. Still a little blurry. These are early on, though, mind you. So this is, I'm pretty sure, when I'm still pressing the button. I figured out how to use my phone to take a picture, so it's perfectly no touching it. So I don't have to move it. At this point, I was still moving it, so here, finally I managed to get a relatively clean picture. What we are looking at is this shallogram. Also, maybe I should just do this real quick. I hung that guitar to make some room, and the other guitar that was there to make some room for this stand that has all my shallograms on it. I was like, I have a lot of shallograms. I don't know what to do. And I was like, you know, why not just put them at arm's length right next to me in a, like, nicely, where they got some room where I could, like, see them all and display them all. But that's this one. We're looking in here is what we're looking at. In this hole. On this one. That I talk about in one of my other shallogram videos. So one of the, like, we can't, it's hard to see in there, especially when I don't even like put it, like, look, it's just darkness, especially with the black. Even though it's got all this golden color internally, we can't even see it without like proper equipment. So I'm like, okay, I really want something I can get some clean shots of stuff. I want to show some really interesting features, as well as just like to be able to do photogrammetry. So there's a couple, so again, some shitty pictures. I mean, kind of bad light. This one I got pretty clean. I think I'm still taking it by hand for like this whole day that we're looking at, until I was like, okay, how the hell do I do this? It's a little tricky, honestly. I was like, this seems a little excessively tricky. Maybe that's for the Sony controls that I've come across people talking about. I wonder. Where they were like, eh. But this is a new shallogram. From Mangalam Jewelry. So we're just looking. We're looking like right in there. I guess I could have done that on the first one too. Okay. So there's that one. I'm gonna eat an edible. I got oh. No. Oh yeah, that's right, that's right. I got my medical card too. Oh yeah, before I won that tournament, I won another tournament. That's right. That one was for $420. I shit you not. I was like, I guess I'm getting my medical card. So yeah, I'll cover it. Hilarious. And then I won that tournament. Like, whoa, dude. Like 2 days later too. I'm like, nice. Okay. So there's that. There's that. There's that. You know, some more images, generally the same spot. Sorry if I kind of go through. Here's the one I frequently talk about. Where did I put it? Oh. Right in the front. So we might come back to this one because it looks like it was the last thing I took images of. This one. Very cool shaped, like lots of cool stuff. Like it's got like the shape there. I love how it has that like rectangular shape right there with this like wing almost off of it. Like whoa. So much cool about it, and that, as well as like this pinch point right here. I don't think I took any images of. I did try to take with the flash. I tried to get pictures in this opening. So there's an opening there. And then I tried to take pictures of here, which is what we're looking at, where I say that the rock has these ribs that, if it's a fossil, would suggest the ammonite imprinted there, and yet there's ribs that extend down into this crevice into it in a way where there is really not. It's not related to this boundary. Like it would. The only possible argument is like the shell that was right here physically broke and pushed in and imprinted again itself down into this crevice. That would be the only. Oh, we can't even see what I'm talking about. Sorry, guys. I forgot I was huge. Dude, stop. We can't see it like that. That's too. Your face is not. Just don't. Just. Okay. Oh, that was so hurtful. Don't talk to you about yourself like that. Ooh. I kind of like this one. Yeah, so I took images of that. This one looks pretty clean, I'd say. Like, generally speaking, trying to get everything. And notice down here, there's like little divots or potholes, like places where current flow did like, which is what's going on here in these places. So essentially that shows that current was not going this way, but was actually coming down along the face outside of this rock, at least this piece of rock, which might have been probably part of a larger structure of rock materials that could have stayed together and been just one shallogram, but it broke apart into smaller pieces, where one piece has this portion of the ammonite structure, where current within the rock was basically flowing in an ammonite, in an eddy shape, in an eddy, where it's flowing around, but then flowing into basically a pinch point at the center, where then it flows up and down, up and out, and cycles back around and down. I think it goes both ways, up and down, basically like a spray going in all directions, up and down, and creating channels that do both, although this would suggest it might just go up more so than down, maybe all one direction, because it's not like this one, then this one, and this one, which would be really cool if there was some kind of sign like that there was like alternating paths that they take leading to these like ridges. But I would say this one's pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked. This is also, I got this one from the Mongolian desert. I don't even think I took pictures of all of them. I got 3 of them. They were like $7. I was like, dude, these are so cool. They're so cool. It's hard to see the details without a picture, though. Even if I do this, it's probably hard to tell. And then there's this one, like... looks like a little rubber ducky. A little rubber ducky. I guess I can just, sorry, I'm gonna hit play because I'm gonna keep hit play again when this ends, and it's got like 7 minutes. And then this one, almost certainly I'm not gonna be done, so I'm just realizing I should probably just, I don't think I took any pictures of at least this one for some reason. I don't know why I wouldn't have done that though, so maybe I did. I don't think I did though. This one I need pictures of. I might have only done this one, but notice how, like, it's not polished, okay? Do you see that? Like, no one made this rock have this shape because it eroded that way. It's got different depths in different locations and different materials, so it's got all this surface roughness. Like, what in the fuck, dude? What is this? That's real quick. I'll just show you guys. Oh my god. Sorry if I do that again. Bonsai. What is that dude? Channel? Oh, not that. No. Bonsai Scholar Stone. Hold on. This channel. Bonsai China. This person's channel. Alright, shop. There's a maybe Lingby Stone? No, that's one of those. What is maybe sort all by lowest price. These. Like, wow. All of these are from the Mongolian desert. Just for context, that's just That's just a glance. I don't know exactly where. Why was I looking at that place? There's a reason. Hmm. I'm so rusty at this. I mean, let's see, where's Mongolia? Exactly. So somewhere up here. Presumably it's from somewhere up here. Is all these. Which is my, like, well, it's kind of cool how it's almost part of this like ammonite structure right here. Almost like the place where current passed through most. I don't want to get distracted on Earth related topics like my last videos before, the last one I think, 400 I think, and before, and it's probably related to Mongolian. Like the topics of those videos is related, which is what I love about these stones, is related to these stones. Like, look at this. Like, what is going on? These are, I mean, what the fuck? I almost wanted to buy, like, all of them. I mean, it's hard not to just be like, yep. Add to cart. I almost bought this one right here. Well, these are cool. I assume these are also not, oh my god, that one. Are also not polished. So these are like, they look like little planets. This looks like a little freaking planet. Oh my god. Can definitely see like changes in the, oh my god. They're so cool. 759. Add. Wait, how? That was like, I put 3 in. I'm like, oh wait, that was like $25. Gotta stop there. That was a little much. Oh my god. They're so cool though. Oh, like, what? The way this is. Like, this one right here. It almost looks like it's not a perfect circle. Instead, it's like connecting in, like, in a way like this one is to this system, but it's not connected yet. So it's got like a different color that makes it not look like almost like a mirror of this over here. I mean, I don't know what to make of any of this stuff. Like, what is happening? What I think about when I look at this is like, again, just like shallograms, what does this tell us about atoms, literally, and other systems that we are not appreciating and can see in all of its detail when we look at a fractal version of it and recognize it to be one? What does that tell us? I mean, like, I'm not saying this system individually is one, like an atom. I mean, maybe like Earth is like a particle, but it's also composed of other particles like the Australian ammonite and the Colorado Plateau ammonite and the Bighorn Basin ammonite and all these like structures that are kind of like these things. of which the larger system is composed of, which then is just fractally happening across scales. So even an atom is composed of like quarks. Not really though. Quarks is bullshit, but quarks is some bullshit. Not gonna lie about that, but never seen one, boy. And you believe that? What you must. So you still believe in Santa Claus, huh? But you ain't seen him? Shoot. I don't know why I'm doing this thing that I'm doing right now. Okay, okay. Let's just hit play again. This one's got like a growths on the side. Since I hit play again, I'm not under quite as much pressure. Oh, what the? That might be standing on something, or it might be actually like that. It looks like it's actually like that. Because it's got that one, so it's probably got another one. Like, the color's the same. Weird. Although, this is definitely on something. I don't think that's attached to it. Although that would be interesting. If it was a sphere, more like this, making it more literally in the category of spheres, of like, my spheres video, like the Moki marbles, Dequi spheres, the Rocky boulders, all those things in that video, which also is kind of like Romanian Provence, kind of reminiscent there, and other things like Lycan gang rings in general. But like, what does that tell us about Lycan gang rings? Just another fractal scale, another way to look at it from a different angle and understand it better. Really? Whoa, life. Like this little bulge off the side, it's kind of doing the same thing as over here. It's like these systems are energetically interacting. These look like they're void. This looks filled. This one looks so void that it like lost even whatever's going on here. Maybe I don't know. Almost creating like a positive material, negative small, a big positive, negative small, with like separator region of something. Oh my god, like what can we glean from these things that I'm like, I know it's there. I know if someone really truly understood well enough and thought about it enough and had the prerequisite knowledge of material, of like things to draw upon, that they could successfully describe like the across scale processes of what exactly is happening here in a way that's more cohesive than what I'm saying. Like, I know it's generally there, I just can't like describe it in like a textbook manner. Like, okay, so there's that one. Let's just scroll a little bit more. Okay, that's all there, all those, I guess. I think there were some more actually that were a little more expensive, so let's see. These are so good, these figurines. I got one of the figurines. I think I gotta get one of these because I got a Scholar Stone, which we'll get to in these images. Oh my god, there's another one. Oh wow. It's so cool. It just reminds me of the legend of the Condor heroes. Oh my god, I love that show. I imagine the book is good. Since it's based on a book, it must be real good. But that show, as well as, what was that? The Sword of Destiny. It is free streaming on YouTube, I saw. Not Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but something else that's more recent. Maybe not the best movie in some ways, but I really liked it. So bravo, guys. Seen it multiple times. I just really like the vibe. It's something. It's got like a vibe, like what's going on here with just all of it. I just love it. the the musical instruments in it that they play, like this. Oh my god, it just looks like ripple. That just looks like ripples. The way that is makes me think of ripples, especially with this like. Why would it be rippling from points? It's almost like energy is concentrating at a point and then radiating from that point along the surface and doing so at multiple points that then interact like to create interaction of the structures like this. Where like over here they didn't actually seed, nucleate to do it. Oh my god. Dudes. Oh. It's just like melting away. Oh my god. I don't think I saw this one. I might have bought this one. Oh, or I didn't appreciate the way this is. Like the way it goes around and in, and then it has structure. There is structure to this chaos, as well as like little nodes over here. Looks like something there. But it's just like melted away. That's what it looks like. I don't know why heat over something else. Like hot, maybe not heat, but just hot in like the process having heat involved, not only heat. Like a hot water, like a steam based, I don't know. Or something approaching steam, or it's effectively steam like. I don't know if that would matter to do this, but it doesn't matter, but I'm just kind of like defending myself. Ah, shit, what if people think I'm stupid for the things I say? I don't know. Oh my god. Okay, we gotta look at this one too. Oh my god. Ah. Ah, it's even got this little thing. What the? Ah, like a little crevice in there. Whoa. Interesting. I don't know why it would do that. Like again, it's got that surface roughness that would strongly suggest it's not just polished. Little more smooth, but still with the surface roughness. Wow. The very boundary of this is so, like, chaotic. Wow. It's almost like an ammonite. Like dendritic. Kind of thing, I mean, almost. What am I talking about? Almost. Certainly, there's current flows involved. Like we can see current. That would suggest currents flowing like down these channels, generally speaking, and some of it like pressure flowed it out over into this region. Maybe I should not have it. That's why it's nice to save the images. But where there's like an actual pressure driven creating of like a hose, where the hose has water flowing in it, and then pressure like a pressure builds up enough where it physically cannot take it anymore, and it balloons like a hose ballooning. Oops. From pressure. There's no images of a hose doing this. What the fuck? I've certainly seen hoses bulging in ways. I don't know why I'm looking for this. I mean, maybe like that. Effectively. But where it creates a channel, instead of just bulging a little bit, imagine it keeps bulging. And it creates a channel that just extends outward. And creates a channel. But that channel then bulges itself. So it like creates a sac. Like a fractal structure, having specifically like the way it has the like a indentation section. Like it doesn't just go up and over and up and over. Like it has an actual channel inlet path. So current flow is involved, but pressure flows it over here. Some reason, ultimately everything is pressure driven, which is what current is a manifestation of, is essentially pressures that are out of balance, so something moves. It does even like if my hands are resisting each other, so they can't really like move past the barrier. Even if there's a barrier, there's still current flow, like heat, etc., that occurs across the barrier. So like that's not a total thing. Like current's flowing everywhere inside of us, inside of everything that is. There are current flows in motion that are a manifestation of pressure imbalances. So like highs and lows that are then driving things to move relative to one another based on these pressure imbalances, which then is essentially what gravity is. I mean, gravity is a pressure pressure variance that happens when pressure of all of the cosmos that's flowing current, kind of like here, imagine like the universe as we know it is like right there, like all that we have ever seen is within the little circle that this mouse makes with the minus sign across it. All of that we know is there in that tiny space, and even just like a little cross section of it, even smaller, whatever. And there's a current flow going through it, but from essentially, so there's a balanced flow where everything is moving together. So like if you're in a car, everything's flowing as one. So there's like a a overwhelming current, but then within that overwhelming current are then motions of pressures that are like there's a bigger particle here, there's a little one there, there's different things happening in that current flow that then lead to variation that leads to everything. I've lost track, but the point is, like, these things are fucking incredible. I would have bought some. Like, what? Look at that. It's just seeding little. And it does kind of spiral. Very much on that one. That spirals around. Almost doing like this, but not connecting. Like, current flow went this way and around and went back this way and maybe went in. Kind of created like a pocket there instead of creating a continuous like band around this region. Some reason. Kind of similar to how this pocket is, I guess, but in that it's like a pocket. I don't know what it would be a pocket off of. It kind of has that appearance as its structure. But it looks like it could have formed more of a perfect circle. This one, even this one's got a sort of a hexagonal as it approaches the center, or more sides to it. It's more polygonal. I did not mean to even look at these, that's for sure. Okay, we'll get back to shallograms here. Okay, let's get back to shallograms. Let's do that before that one's pretty cool too. Okay, so there's that one. This is one of the ones I got. So that's why I got those, because I thought they were really cool in that regard. So, what are we looking at? We're about to find out as we go, because I don't. Okay, we're looking at. We're looking at the physics. Oh my god. The physics of a shallogram. Episode something. It's called The Physics of a Shallogram. This one. So what we're looking at in the image is like right above my finger. Below the top chakra. Okay. So like this area. So notice it's got like a circle type thing there. A little boundary over here, that way. Up this way, it kind of wraps around. So it's got something kind of circular there for some reason. And in the physics of a shallogram video, we kind of talk about it as to what I think is going on. I mean, it's between the chakras. It's where this extends downward. Even though that's how it broke, it's still where it extends downward, which suggests it broke more inward there. Really? Is the reality in terms like it actually broke rounded. It's like a round break. Like making it more down here. I recorded all this music in like a day. So hope it's tolerable. I know it's not perfect in some ways. I think it's alright in other ways, but and good in some ways, and like wow in other ways, but also I don't know if I really saw it like this, like the way it is here. Little steps down. This over here, like it's so off center. Even though this chakra, like this structure that looks generally in line, that then has the circle that interacts like between the chakras. Essentially pressure again, like there's pressure. And so that video is highly, the physics of a shallogram, highly related to what I was just talking about, really, in terms of pressures driving things. Pressures pushing things. Okay, pardon me. So it's pretty nice. I mean, let's see what else. Anything that I like noticed in the image. It's pretty good. Maybe I should be even smaller. Is that better? That's good, right? How's that? That's pretty good. I'm pretty small there. That's like functional, I guess. So we can kind of see in here in a way. So I'm gonna kind of just go around that stuff up there. I don't want to get too like into this. I was just kind of being like, hey guys, what's up? I wanted to show that like first shallograms feature. I guess I could do this and this and this. Next thing I know, I'm like doing this full-blown thing here. Probably notice that it's got like a lobe shape there though, and up that way as well as like this way, but like a weird one there. Being eroded into the structure, but not actually eroding in the same way as it is over here. Because essentially, there's current that's flowing like into the front, into the front, and down. So there's like a down and front, two current flows that are especially overwhelming, that are leading to a current going down, hitting on this side of the rock, and being pushed by this current over this way into the rock, where then it essentially resists and leads to an eddy forming on the surface of the rock that then begins to shape it to the point where it actually becomes a full-blown eddy. Like it starts in smaller scales, like a seed that then grows, like the other, like that thing that we were just looking, those rocks from Mongolia looking things. Those rocks. This one's so cool. I definitely got some, I'm a little surprised I can't just zoom in. What the hell? I think the pictures are now on my computer, so I can probably zoom in if I open them not in this. That's okay though. Whew, that's a pretty good image, right? This is probably with my macro. All this is with that macro lens I just showed, with the extension tubes and different degrees of whatever way to focus. Different degrees so that the zoom basically is varying. Some of them I zoomed in as much as possible. Others I kind of tried to pull back a little bit more. So this is probably not zoomed in quite all the way, although maybe. There's so much detail. Like, look at the right here at the very tip of this. There's two little dupes. Like a little peace sign. Like, what up, bro? It's like, what up, bro? You see me yet? Did you notice? Did you notice me yet? Just giving you a peace sign, bro. Like, how clean of an erosion these current the process is. Like, this is cosmic. The process is like, I'm picturing looking at this, some kind of literal, like, cosmic, like a gamma ray burst, like something like cosmic in nature being physically represented in a fractal way here in terms of like the aftermath, because it essentially eroded a void. I don't know how it would relate to specifically gamma ray burst. There's some kind of beam type things in cosmic circumstances would be perhaps related. Also, that little nodule there. Okay. Oh, that's probably the Siphuncle. Is it? Could it be? Maybe. Like the internal, in terms of what is called the Siphuncle. Maybe. It might be. It's very much at the edge of what would presumably be. Also, like a ammonite, but I was gonna say, also notice it's got like, I got a little distracted because I realized there's a line here, across this way, across there especially though. And then there's kind of like a divides, especially there. So it's almost partitioning this little area in a way that's reminiscent of what would happen to an ammonite structure. Like if we look at, say, let's find a good one for what I'm thinking it's kind of doing, but doing it really subtly, so it's hard to like recognize the same. I need a good angle, really. I've seen it in the feature a couple times. I just really would like a good angle. Here we go. This is fun. Okay. Like creating chamber type things. Like it's literally doing it in the surface of the rock. Dudes. Structure might be there, but it's probably not even very cohesive. Although maybe it is covered in some way and then formed more cohesively internally. There's certainly structure to the upper ammonite, but there's also lack of structure in ways that intrigued me. Where the bottom one, if we go back here, the bottom one is much more ammonite. Top one is kind of like a mass. Like this has all the dendritic features going on. This kind of pseudo does, but doesn't. Same thing over here. Like it has similar little like branching thing going on there. Although it looks way more pronounced. And that's what I like about this, is I can take different angles. There's that. It's almost like an inlet. Like if we go back here, the way that is, it's like its current flow is catching right in that little nook and physically shaping it. and the overall current flow pressures are such that they have the shape of an ammonite flow, because an eddy is happening that is then causing flow to a center point that is then radiating flow essentially in an eddy to a center point that is then radiating flow around the eddy, because the pressure into the center is through the eddy, so there's all this pressure. So once it gets to the center, the only way out is in like a beam through the pressure and around it, but then it runs into other pressure, because that's why this eddy is forming in the first place, because there's pressure current flows that are colliding. So there's a lot of circumstances at play that are creating the eddy, that are, it's not just like, oh, there's a current flow in here and it's creating a nook. Like there's there are all these other, like, there is particular circumstances of surrounding pressures that allow for that when this current goes in here, it effectively creates a nook in the overall structure. Basically, is what I'm getting at. It's not just pushing in this like little, like, it even looks like it malleably did so. Like it shaped the material. It didn't just erode it. It didn't just just erode it. It looks like it physically like created some kind of like pushing out of the material, I guess that's what I'm getting at. Okay. So there's this one. So many cool, and definitely good image though. Like the quality is good. It could definitely be better. I will say that I think at this point I'm using a tripod. I don't know. I might at this point also be using the cell phone image taking. Okay, so this one is this one. So notice, you can see it in the image a little bit, there's a couple holes in the side of the stone. I can't bring it up yet. That's the whole point of this shallogram, me taking images of this shallogram. So I made myself too big, where I couldn't like get the thing again. I couldn't adjust it. Okay. So this is more so focused on the outside, obviously. So certainly there's gonna be some issues with trying to get like the whole image in focus without having just a better lens, probably, or a more precise lens for it, and all these things that maybe at some point I'll hopefully get some more lenses that are for certain purposes that I aim to achieve. But there's the openings. For now, this is pretty damn good. I'm satisfied. I can see that little, whoa, opening. Also, I thought the camera was broken. I was like, fuck. Bought it off eBay. You never know. It looks like it got dropped, and I think it did, because it keeps turning off. Google it. Oh, it's got some like sensor. So like whenever I get too close, it like the screen goes black and on the back, and it uses the viewfinder. I didn't know cameras did that. I was oblivious, so I just turned it off. I was like, no viewfinder. There's a full macro camera on tripod using my cell phone. Alright. Most of the time. Otherwise, I don't see why the viewfinder would be. I don't even think I've looked through it, honestly. Yeah. Turned it off very quickly, though. Okay, so I guess here, though, we can see the light. We can see the light. It's through the little opening over there. So what the fuck? What fossilization explanation is there for a blatantly punctured hole in the Shalagram stone? Two of them that just so happen to be where its ammonite structure, like down, up, down, up, down, up, down, cleanly connected across. The cosmic, just think of it, like imagine this right here is just cosmic in size. And think of current flows flowing through this path, 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 and wrapping around in an eddy in this path as the ammonite structure that is ultimately like galactic in nature, like the what I term the iterative fundamental particle, because the universe is fractal, it repeats across scales, but what doesn't repeat is the iterative fundamental particle mechanics, or yeah, what the mechanics are the same across scale. It's just seen from a different angle. I'm just noticing like there's a little down and then kind of doing that and up and around. Like modern science just is like coincidence. Might even be one over there. I wonder if that doesn't look quite in line. That'd be interesting. I don't think so. Wait, where did I put it? Like, how do I see this better? Look at the image. I got a magnifying glass. I guess I could use that. This is a pretty good image inside, though. Okay, like that looks. It looks like there's a change. It's not just purely as it goes around the bend. Like there's like a physical change. Maybe I could find it if I go like this. Shalagram. I think it's one of the most recent ones posted. Whoa. What the fuck? There it is. Like there's an actual change here. It goes up and then it kind of bends out. These are going more straight across. These are going more like there's an actual change immediately, like some transition zone. Oh no, did I just dox myself? La da da. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not. I hope not. I guess I'll check after. Maybe I can cover it up. I'll have to, I guess. You guys can see whatever was there. It wasn't. So this is this one. Let's just kind of go through. Oh my god. Let's get the image that this one. This kind of like here's the shallogram we're looking at, and then this one. Like, here's the shallogram we're looking at. So it's a piece. It's a piece of a shallogram, notice. It's got a nice flat face here. Some weird holes. Oh my god, the detail. Let's see. Let's see. How do I find this off the top of my head? Where the hell? Like, where are these? Properties. F. Also, I got a new hard drive. I was running low. Ain't no mo. Ain't no mo. Ivan took 1.5 terabytes of my video recordings and put it on this hard drive. Nice. So I got lots of space. So this one's a little more open too. Like, what a relief that poker was like. Whew. Very. Oh, we're still on the first day. Oh no, where were we? On the last day? Oh, I guess we're on the last day. Oh, so these were. I started on the last day. My bad. Doesn't matter, I guess. These were actually after I worked out how to do it. So that's how bad these were. Or even then. But now we can zoom in. And this is a pretty high quality camera, hopefully. In terms of, it's 24 megapixels, 24.3. So I'm hoping it doesn't look like I can really zoom in much more than it is. I was hoping if I zoomed in, it would keep its quality for a pretty long time. I mean, that's definitely got some pretty good quality though. But it does kind of start to blur. I knew it wasn't quite what could be. I can't even. Oh, I'm like, can we get the best possible technology? Best possible looking at these shalograms. Not just what I can do. So there's that. Let's see what else. Okay. Like it's clearly got paths. Oh my god. Like, this is not the current of the river along the surface of the stone, though. This is what was happening to form this stone, including the ammonite structure, by the eddies and all the currents that were also on its surface that were creating actual etchings of where they flowed and in what paths, not what directions, although the directions are deducible. So both really path and direction. Like notice up here, there's some like upward things going on here. It's like it's going over, but then it's running into where this ammonite is. So instead it goes like down and around, and then there's like a current going. There's probably more so like a current going in this general area that another current is interacting with where the ammonite is. That's ultimately all part of this overall current at play that is in the overall current of the universe. That just is the flow that is like it just is. It just is. There's no way around the flow. Under pressure. Do I play it again? I'm sorry, guys. Maybe I'll turn it down a little bit this time. It's already pretty low, but I'll turn it down even a little lower. Since I already played it twice. That's all I made. That's all I made. Ran out. I got a little bored of it. It's like, shit, I need to practice and figure out. I need to do stuff. We'll see. We'll see if I can make it. If I got this much time in a month and a half, maybe I'll have another 45 minutes of. Because I pretty much just sat there and hit stuff. Hit stuff 45 minutes. That was pretty good. I guess I'll keep that. Didn't play more than once. No, okay, anyway. Like this. Looks like it even relates maybe over whatever's going on with those. And this, I don't know what to make of all that stuff. It's kind of reminiscent of the Mongolian things, I guess, in the way it's forming little pockets and mounds. Almost like the surface has some of the material being removed from these little crevices that then kind of got compressed and mounded there for some reason. I don't know. Etc. But then like current flow here kept that eroded or not mounding. It didn't allow it to mound there for some reason. I don't know what to make of it though. It's very odd. They're very odd. There's subtle features like that. Okay, now let's keep going. Let's just kind of like this is. Let's just this like whoa. There's some more of those, real clear as day. This is the flat face of the broken piece of a shallogram, which must have been huge, because this thing is pretty much like a little boop, a little piece of something that must have been, I mean, maybe 20 times 50 times larger shallogram than just this little piece from just based on this. Flat face though, very smooth. And the little dendrite thing there with all that stuff going on, some openings. Some kind of ribs going on maybe. I need to delete, I guess, the ones that are real bad. This one looks nice. The way it's just eroding in there. Just beep along a certain path, and that's it, like currents do. Or can do, not always. That's the thing about currents. They do a lot of things. This looks kind of related for some reason. In terms of some directional current that was effectively leading to both. It's almost like a siphuncle to some pseudo-ammonite type thing that was forming here. Because within this piece of an ammonite, like it's clearly, this is clearly the front of an ammonite if we go back here. This here, this face, or the front of a shallogram that contains an ammonite. That is barge. That is more like a singular ammonite, like more of a traditional structure, like right here, or like some chunk that's like generally over here, but only a small corner of it. That has a flat face like this. That then has dendrites like these things. Which is what this thing is, and these. So it's got a full-blown, like, ammonite type structure there, and yet within it, it's got other ammonite structures. What the fuck? What is this? Why are there ribs here? Why is this here? Ribs. Oh my god. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I've been writing as well. I've been writing. I kind of paused. I'm at like, let's see. Let's check out my. Let's check it out. $87 pages, so I've been making images. I thought maybe I'll share the link to the Google Drive and to the Google document. I'm writing it in Google Documents, and I figured why not just share this document in my video section. Not really anyone watching, and if anyone is watching, then maybe they'll want to see it. And I'm gonna publish it one day. I don't really give a shit. Amazon self-publishing, if it's like out there anyway. Like, if they want to like contest it someday, so be it. I'm like, fine. Yeah, you're right, I did publish it before. But I really wanted it. I'm gonna publish it on Amazon for hard copy purposes too. But I'm gonna make it available like my other book. And I'm thinking I'm just gonna like make it available now. I mean, it's certainly a work in progress. But if anyone wants to see it as it, like at any point, check it out. You don't even have to see the end product. Just see what's going on. But somewhere down the line, I stopped writing and started just making these images because this was a lot of work. Doing like this. I mean, it's not that much, but it's pretty. When I'm doing probably 100 shallograms, I'm gonna legitimate. I got permission from Rujak Guru, Mangalam Jewelry, Rudra Gems, I believe. Sorry, and Enchantica. 4 sources so far. I might reach out to others because that seems like people will be like, why are all of the images from Rujak's Guru? Because that's who they're from. What do you want from me? Look at the damn rock. Does it look fake? Do you want to contest the rock? Question 1. Do you want to contest the rock? Okay, now let's talk about how this happened, okay? Like, okay, look at them. Do they look fake? No, they're not fake. This is a shallogram. That's just what they are. I know they're crazy. Okay, let's look at the features. But somewhere down the line, I just kind of was like, every time I like talk about another shallogram, I am having to make. So initially, I was putting them in like this. I'm like, this is sloppy. Why not just like Photoshop images? That way, I can kind of like some of them. I don't. I might make the book. I haven't decided how big the book will be in terms of like 6x9. I think my last book was 6x9, and that's generally a good size. But I might make it a little big because I want these images a little big. So I might purposely make it like a big book in terms of its dimensions, so the images are big enough to be like, I see the details. So like here's a good example of one where I'm like, okay, there's some notice the drill features in there, by the way, like the current flow that just like going down here and into that like little dupe on the side of this one. That little dupe thing we were looking at. Where oh, damn, I can't even go through fast. Those 2 holes. Just like that, but a big scale. Fractal. Cross scales. But in a way where in this case, what came out of something like this, boop, went in to a shallogram stone. Boop. Wow, Eddie inside the stone. And now we've got ourselves an ammonite. Cool. And then like that one. So I haven't like made all of them. But at some point I just was like, alright, this needs to I just need to do all the images that I think I will write about. So I'll write about this one. I'll write about this one for sure. I really like how I made this one. Lots of little images from the YouTube video of it, mind you. Like that's the depth that I'm looking at these. I mean, not that that's why I put that there, but because like that's the reality of the situation. I'm not even just drawing from the website. I'm also like, hey, pause, screenshot. There, better. We like this angle here. I don't see that in the images here. Somewhat in this one, but it's there. And then that one, just a little covering. Like, okay, this one I put a little phi ratio in there. Like, how do I like? Because I'm trying to figure out how to size them and put them together. This one and this one can't really go next to each other unless they're smaller. And then, like, this one and this one, like, because they're the same size. This is the same size as this one. This is the same size as this one. Generally speaking, it lends itself to putting them adjacent to one another, but then they are different heights. So that lended itself, as well as the fact that they're ammonites probably, to being highly conducive of making this box into a phi ratio. I don't know. Then there's one, this one up. Here's me trying to point out, like, you can barely see in the shimmer down there that there's like that structure on the, like that, going extending out there. So I tried to draw its boundaries. I literally I was like, how do I make this clean? It's not very clean, but it's clean enough. I sat there, zoomed in as fuck, 1 pixel dot, like, boop, 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 trying to follow boundaries. I'm like, there's this path generally is where this boundary is. I'm going to talk about it. That's why there's, hopefully I remember what I was thinking when I drew those things. This one, like, this one lends itself to just being across the line. So if anyone wants to check this out, here's my present state of my book that I have not worked on in like a week. I really have kind of been, let's say, taking vacation in some ways. It's like vacation time. Getting a camera, getting shallograms. I'm getting shallograms. What? Oh shit! I spent all this money. I spent a little much on shallograms. Not gonna lie. This one I already had. Here's another one that I had. That I wanted to try to take a picture of the fact that there are ribs of the ammonite this way, which is nothing out of the ordinary. But then there's ribs going across this way that don't really make sense. So I really tried to take a picture of that. Here's this general other side, so that this is on the is over. So I think here actually, yeah, right there. It's right there. So we can subtly see a rib right there, especially there though. Like doing the same thing down a layer in a chamber. Oh my god. Oh my god. Kind of like the product of the Brahmastra that was used to attack ancient Dwarka that led to the mantle puncture hole swirl. I swear it's gonna bring some resolution here. There we go. The swirl. I think that's his. I feel like it's got higher resolution than that. Let's hang out here, see if the resolution goes up a little bit. The point is, there's a swirl here. This swirl, see my videos. Let's do it like that. Where all my tabs are. Yeah, I'm searching for weed and playing games. I don't even know what's on there. Maybe something. People are like, what's on? But then there's this one. That this one is within. And then there's this one that I've talked about recently that has like an ammonite over here. And then where this one, mind you, notice how it has mass, so like neutron, proton, proton, neutron, neutron, proton, proton, neutron, proton, where a proton is a place where current can flow and a neutron is a mass, effectively. So if we go back here, this here, see my more recent videos for the actual context, is like it starts right here, goes up this way, goes up in this area, in this box. So it's in a chamber. So basically, here's an ammonite that has a chamber that within it is a swirling ammonite structure, this thing, that within that, or that is within this other larger swirl. It's very similar shaped. Like the swirl itself is very much the same. And then it's just different, like fractal, larger structure that extends up to the Himalayas. And beyond, really, into the Himalayas, though. Like that extends all, that larger one, the smaller ones here, larger ones like here. Right, this is a boundary of it here that then extends into the Himalayas. Like, I think here, though, it's hard to say. Maybe if I go real quick. Animations. We can kind of get a idea here. So here's that eddy right there. There's that eddy. So it's basically right around there. So it's freaking huge. There's an eddy in the magnetic. This is a magnetic anomaly map. And then that little eddy is over here, which maybe is not exactly pinpointed because it's two maps I'm trying to overlay. But it's, see that other video, it's in the boundaries. I literally went like this. In that video, I'm like, what is down here below me? What is the longitude and latitude at like this far point right there? And then I literally come over here and somewhere over here, like right there or something, somewhere over here, where's it at that corner exactly? And I do that. It's in the chamber. Basically, back to what we were just looking at. The reason I'm talking about this is we're seeing an ammonite with ribs. Almost like there's an ammonite in the chamber. Which I definitely, like, generally, it doesn't form the same way, but generally it's a thing that's happening with these chambers where they're effectively like fractal the same things. So here's that opening I mentioned in the, it's hard to take a picture of this opening. There's so much going on in there that it's not really quite an ammonite shape in terms of what's going on in there. In the first one I talked about, that had this rectangle, looked like a little wing. In this hole. In that one. Just for reference, I don't know. It's kind of like splaying out a little much. Like, it's not, this is not just part of an ammonite that's like extending into the stone here, and this is what we see, because it's splaying out in a way where it's like going over this way. Like from generally, there's also this little divide thing going on there. That's kind of strange. I'm looking to see if I got any better images in there. Ah, that's a better image, alright, baby. Totally forgot that. I was like, I wonder what this looks like under the camera. Oh, shoot. That shit just looks like a ball of white. Oh my god. Is this against terms and conditions? Sorry guys, I'll just play it, you know. Oh my god, that shit looked dang, it was too. That was called Pineapple Donut from Curaleaf. I believe, or no. Was it Surterra? Might have been from Surterra, sorry. That shit was a bomb. Wherever it was. It's one of them. Oh my god, this is a solid camera though, like just from a camera. Analyzing this from a pictorial standpoint. Like we see pretty good focus. It's maybe not, obviously that's not the object, but like over here. I watched some videos where they did like technical things and like it definitely has some low ratings around the corners. And I feel like I see that even a little bit here, just in general. But I'm not like that. Let's see. It's hard to say because like that's what I'm generally focusing on the center, so it's hard to say. There's that again. Definitely can see consistent ribs. Consistent ribs, underlying consistent ribs. I mean, I don't know what else to say about a chamber that had literally like a sideways ammonites in the chamber. And I don't mean like full-blown ammonite, just doing ammonite-like things. Basically a place where current flows in an eddy, where in that case, it was flowing really in an eddy in a way where it was able to etch ribs around the boundary that underlay another current flow of the larger structure itself that are going perpendicularly this way, where this is going this way. Underneath it though, but only within a certain space, as a chamber is. And then there's another type of another chamber basically where another current flow is generally behaving. I've never seen it do that on that scale. It makes me think as it eddies, it's also doing this kind of eddy. And just naturally it's leading to these chambers some reason, with the fact that it's eddying to a center that then is spraying outward and probably kind of like starting to divide the current more, or even just actually dividing the current. Not the best image to stop on. This is the one with the wing on the side. It's hard to show you in person, obviously. I was thinking of just I've never done it. I might one day use that camera instead of this camera to record my videos. I haven't done it though. That might even be good for hard drive space. So that's the end of these, but I skipped also. Like, before I move on, like what the fuck? Oh my god! And just these straight cuts that end abruptly, that then have layers up inwardly. Kind of like one of those rocks we were looking at from Mongolia that were like planets. Those, particularly the ones that were like planets. Okay, let me see. This is probably really long. What is this? 2 hours? Alright. I'll just kind of... Oh my god, we'll have to make another video. So... I got this shalogram. Before I'll just very quickly tell you guys. I ordered this shalogram. I believe this shalogram. The one I showed here. This one. I think it was the second one I showed. This one was just cheap enough that I was like, why not? Why not? I think it was cheap enough. That's basically. So I haven't inspected it that much. Inside of it, essentially the main target of it was was the chambers, coincidentally, actually. So maybe if I can real quick find. Oh, here's my scholar stone. I got one with a little stand, a little preface, and my Dwarka Sheila, which I never really looked at it. Did I make a video about these? I don't think I did. But the shopkeeper of Mangum Jewelry, who asked me if I wanted one of them, and I was like, a Dwarka Sheila. You know, I've looked at, like, I came across them, but like it never really brought my attention until he said that. And I really looked at them and I was like, you know what? I do. So I got that one there. Because it has a chakra. I'll just say that. It makes me think that I really hope that my end result analysis of this is it's almost like a skeletal shalogram where current flow went through it in a very similar way to how shalograms experience current flows, but in the case of Dwarka Sheilas, which are only found like shalograms, similar to shalograms, which are only found in the Kaligandaki Valley in the Himalayas, right here in this area. Similarly, the only place Dwarka Sheilas are found, I believe, is over here or something, somewhere over here. Like where are Dwarka Sheila? I'm not spelling it right. Found. Gomti River. Dvar, Dvaravati, Dvaravati. I don't know if I said that right, but Gomti River. Okay, so this river is the only place Dwarka Shila Dvar Bhati Shila, which is a coral stone. So they frequently look like this. Where it's like, yeah, that's a coral stone, okay. But just like ammonites, I'm like, are we sure about that being living? Sure, that's not the result of current flows that are ultimately not occurring anymore because the Earth was expanding, and that created this structure. Because unlike the ones I've seen, this one has a lot of really interesting features. Like, it has a chakra. Yeah, it literally has an ammonite type shape in it. And it made me think, what if this is a skeleton of an ammonite, of a basically a skeleton of a shallogram, where current flow doing the things we're talking about that are then fractally even feeding into smaller channels or chambers or paths, physically generally flowing through some material, not living, but just through it in a way where it interacts with it and physically etches the stone. Because Gomti River, bro, look at where it is. If we just kind of go like this, dude, before I do this, let's just go to research. What am I looking for? Okay. Where might I have put this thing? Maybe. I'm looking for the shallogram image like things. Oh my god, I'm so disorganized. And then I stopped looking at it, so it's just like, where is it again? Oh, fuck. And I just had a lot of shit. It's hard to keep track of, that's for sure. Where is it? Because I drew on it and I reference it a lot, so I wanted to just kind of draw attention to it. There we go. There it is. Shalagram, India. Chakra, even with like a channel to the chakra. So I talk about this way back, where there's this chakra and another chakra that are connecting the Saurashtrian Peninsula to, I'm just like, I know these things. What is this one? I want to say the Kutch, Ran of Kutch, maybe? That might be up here though. That's up there. That, I don't know what that is. Kutch? Is that just Kutch? Yes. Okay, so anyway, point is, connects them like energetically, like positive, negative, like terminals connecting, where there was a physical. Essentially, this was closed over here. The doom shape that is written of in the Kolbrin Bible in Egyptian text that manifested as a result of the attack of ancient Dwarka that sunk ancient Dwarka here, as I've shown in my content, all my stuff. The doom shape moves this way, goes over here, goes down over here, down this way, and then discharges into Gurnar. And while it's here, it's just feeding basalt flows of the Deccan traps, because it's effectively interacting with basalt flows under the crust over here while it's over in this region. Over here, it's moving over here, it's interacting literally with that ammonite. Like, it's not like there's just randomly a freaking ammonite spiral here. There was a vortex that reached down to the mantle, energetically interacting with it, that moved from Dwarka, where it formed, so it wasn't like huge then, but it began to grow into being the doom shape, moved over this way, went over here, kind of lodged, hung out over in this area, and then it moved energetically away this way to over here, where suddenly the basalts are exposed to the surface and the Deccan traps occurs, the doom shape is there. So it's not just like, oh la la, basalt's hanging out. This vortex storm that reaches to space and channels energy into the mantle is here. Moving through. And it's pushing energy this way. But there's resistance here. Now there's not. But there was. And you know why there was? Because there's this bulge here. Like a shallogram bulge. Like we were talking about with that one Mongolian rock where pressure builds and it bulges out. So basically current flowed this way, but it ran into resistance over here, but it kept flowing, which then leads to basically a cycling of current where any current that can't get over here has to basically flow back to the pressure and just cycle, almost gaining momentum, of adding this velocity to the water, and in essence, as a way to capture this energy, because it's not able to break through the resistance, but then it breaks through and comes through this area. Gomti River. These things, I'll take one of those too. Thank you very much. Oh my god. Unfortunately, I got a little marked up from the shallograms and shipping. So it got a little bit of shallogram in it, which is, of all places, right where the chakra, like it even has like oops. I'm trying to move this by moving it on this screen over here. Like, let me move the video. There's lots of things about it that make me very curious in terms of currents that we'll get into, like we'll get into well, this right here, right there, almost looks like it goes through to that thing. So it's almost like a... there's no way it's just coral, though. There's no way this is just coral. Okay, so there's that. Let's keep going, though. Let me just real quick. So I got that. I got, these. I guess I can go. Sorry, guys. I know this is kind of taking a while. If you're still watching, then I guess you're watching. I got those. So this one broke, and honestly, I didn't want to break one. I'm gonna just say it. I didn't want to break one, but if I'm gonna get a broken shallogram, this was literally the best shallogram that could have broken. A little disappointed I didn't break it accidentally, maybe. Like, not purposely, but legitimately accidentally. I would have been like, I'd feel, at least I would have like seen it as it was in person, and unfortunately I didn't save any of the images because I was kind of getting lazy. I was like, I'll just get it in the mail. Maybe I should ask for some images. There's lots of cool stuff though that is exposed that otherwise would not be visible, like this siphuncle structure here. Just the way it broke, there's so many things about it that I've already, just because it's the inside of a shallogram. Like sometimes there's things like this right here is effectively this right here. Effectively. But this doesn't have the rest of the rock with it to go with it. So, but like a broken shallogram is this like one of these in that sense, but it carries with it the unique trait where these ones you don't have the rest of the rock to look at. So that this one is let's see. I would like to go back to the folder and find, so like this is the best I can piece it back together. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. This it's fucking incredible though. It's still, you can still look at it and see that it has the anomalies that I discuss in terms of current flow, like because we can tell it was generally in this shape. Like these are in the position they were. Like yes, it was tighter packed because it was solid, but this is how it generally was. So we can still compare this surface to other surfaces like of this one that is no longer conjoined in a single thread, but the relationship is still imprinted in them both combined, that having a broken shallogram definitely allows for that. And here's some chambers again. There's so many things in this. Oh my god. Before I go talking about it in depth though, let me just show real quick. Like, I'm about to talk about in depth. Then I got this one that had the eroded chakras as I see it. I was like, those chakras are eroded. It was really hard to take a picture of. I think I got my artsy banana mango. Oh, I should probably not go through all these. I'm not sure. I said Jax. I don't know if I. Oh no, no. Got some images from Jax. Oh yeah, that's a pretty cool image, honestly. Like, I gotta say, Jack, we got a nice setup there. Oh my god, that one was my favorite. Okay, here we go. Start there. Oh, there's the Sci-Funkle thing. I really was trying to take a good picture of it. It was somewhere in here. The suture patterns. Okay, now we're back to this. It's somewhere. There we go. There's so much detail in here. I didn't really get a good enough picture, but and then this one I really. I think these are before I figured out how to take the picture a little more consistently. AKA not pressing the frickin'. It's so bad. Oh yeah, this one came out nice. Look how delicate. Like, it doesn't look that delicate there. It doesn't look that delicate. Think about erosion for a second when you see how big this is. This right here, this whole opening, and especially though this might even warrant me. I'll just pull out my cell phone and get a flashlight out. This, and make this big real quick though. That little nucleus thing. Like it's hard to get it to focus on it, I guess. There we go. That is that. I'm proud of that one. That one looks nice. It is pretty much as sharp as can be right there, and then it kind of fades out away from it. But that's just looks like appropriate, I guess. I think that looks clean. We even see the chakra really extending like way up, almost touching the other one. Maybe really going through to like exactly a thread of like the subtlest thread, that even within that subtle thread has like an even subtler thread though, and fractally down where it's just like perfect balance of current between the chakras. And that's where the chakra is. where it's not deviating. Like current flows over here, like more tend to flow away, like a magnetic field rather than like a gamma ray, like a ray. Well, so yeah, okay. Let's go see. That's that. I'm just seeing if anything else. I can for sure make my next episode about the broken shallogram in full. It's like a focus if I want. If I record again, I was thinking, like, what if I just never record again? Just never record again. Never again. Fade into the darkness. What is the, what is the, I really don't feel these. Edibles are not, although, I'll also just sit here talking to myself, so. 2:30 in the morning, what am I doing? Alright, I'm gonna get out of here. I could just go on forever. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for hanging. I will be back sooner or later. I mean, hopefully sooner, but at the same time, I mean, I don't want to just make videos. I certainly haven't been recording as much, so this is a lot more just kind of me updating and some follow-up stuff. Let's see, anything else that I forgot about? Okay, I got the medical card. You guys got that, so you knew that part. So that's good. Okay, what else was there? The 420 win. That was. Okay, I think I got everything important then. Anything I forgot, I'll let you guys know later. You're really not funny, dude. You know? You make all these stupid jokes. It's the same joke, it's just recycled like your stupid music. Same fucking joke. Recycled. Stupid music. Recycled. Oh, you changed the key, changed the blah blah blah. Oh, you transposed. You didn't even play different notes. You just made it look like you did. You cheat, don't you? You cheating it. That's a shortcut. Better learn to play the right way. Then you can do both. Oh, that is actually pretty useful. I could expand into lots of things. Okay, guys. Kisses. Later.